Hopefully everybody's having a nice day. Hopefully you guys are you're clearing away from this storm here. There's a storm called Hurricane Priscilla, and it's situated in the Baja California area, and it's traveling, it looks like, northeast. We've had some rain over here in the Imperial County, but it's not been too bad. I know that some areas, especially in California, have been hit harder than others. I don't know where you guys are located, but if you're in another state, hopefully you're keeping dry and you're being safe. Anyhow, I sound like I'm the weatherman or something like that. But anyhow, let's continue with today's topic. So, I want to talk about tasers being used inappropriately. I finished the taser instructor class. It's a 2-day class a week ago, or less than a week ago. And now I have a little bit more authority to speak on the taser. Again, before I had some authority to speak on it, but now I have a lot more authority to speak on it. I am really tired of seeing police officers and security officers clearing buildings with a taser. You're clearing buildings, you're clearing structures with a building. You're clearing structures, corners, and buildings with a taser. I'll say this. Nowhere in my 16 hours of training, or 2 days of training, it's actually 3 days of training because day 0 doesn't count, in the taser instructor course, does it even mention that you should clear a building with a taser? Nowhere near the practical examinations that we had, the scenarios that we had, the reality-based scenarios we had, nowhere did we practice clearing an area with a taser and clearing a structure, a contested structure with the taser, or a corners, right? We did have a scenario where somebody drew a firearm, and then they had it not at a low ready position, but at basically the barrel was oriented towards the ground. Could that be in a lethal situation? Yeah. If you're a law enforcement or security, could you have pressed the trigger? I think so, right? It's debatable, but leaning towards probably so. In that situation, the master instructor said that you have a partner that's providing lethal coverage. So it's obviously a taser course. You're going to have the taser in your hand, but then he taps you on the shoulder. Hey, you have a partner, and that partner can provide lethal coverage. But nowhere did we have a scenario where there was a firearm introduced, and then we had a taser. It was always, we had a taser and we had lethal coverage. But for some reason, security professionals, law enforcement professionals think that a taser is a gun. And I constantly see them searching contested areas with a taser. Guys, if anybody is teaching you this, if anybody's teaching you this skill, if you're practicing it, I would really question that person's capabilities and their training record. Because nowhere in the taser course is that even covered. Nowhere in any firearms course that I know of, firearm instructor course do I know of, do they teach you to clear a contested area involving corners, structures, buildings, rooms with only a taser. Now, you can clear a contested area with a taser if you have lethal coverage. However, this is an advanced skill. And I would argue that most SWAT teams don't even train for this. I think many do, but in the grand scheme of things, when you consider most SWAT teams are part-time, it's a collateral duty, they're probably not doing this. I've trained with